5 Wells Chambered Cairn at Taddington Moor. Now, the name 5 Wells has arisen as it is said that 5 fields in the vicinity each have a spring or drinking place, like a well or something on them, and the views are amazing. Now, these funerary monuments were constructed and used during the early to middle Neolithic, as far back as 5,400 years ago, and I think there were 300 chambered tombs recorded in England, because they're one of the few types of Neolithic structures to survive as upstanding monuments, and it's a type that's fairly common in the Peak District, where the burial chambers are covered by a round circular barrow instead of like a long barrow. Chambered tombs and long barrows, it is thought, were where people buried their ancestors together over generations, and they provided a clan or tribal gathering points and marked ancestral claims to the land. And sometimes they reckon only chosen body parts of the bodies were placed inside, and some archaeologists think that the bones were removed for ceremonial activities after burial, which suggests they were used over a considerable period of time. The eastern chamber has spectacular views over the Wye Valley, even today. This location vista must have had a special significance to the ancient builders, and at 435 metres above sea level it's reputed to be the highest megalithic tomb in Britain. It has 2 back-to-back chambers orientated east-west, and each had a passage leading to the chambers from the edge of the mound. And the internal chambers have paved floors which were covered over by the cairn, which was about 52 by 47 feet and built out of limestone slabs and covered by a mound of earth and stone. Really, all you can see today is the bare bones of the monument. The eastern chamber are the remains of 2 limestone orthostat stones, about 5 foot tall, behind which are a pair of large slabs 6.5 foot in length and a smaller backstone, and the capstones have gone, which used to cover them. Now, the old western chamber has only collapsed portals visible and is in a very poor state, and the other stones have been buried or removed. The mound of the cairn, which covered both of these chambers, is said to have been carried away for wall building about 200 years ago, and the site was said to have been damaged by investigations by several 19th century antiquarians, Thomas Bateman in 1846 and Mika Salt between 1899 and 1900. But between them they discovered the remains of about 17 sets of human bones, animal teeth, Neolithic plainware pottery, flint arrowheads and a flint knife, which I think most of the objects are at Buxton Museum now. The temptation to sit inside the chamber and contemplate life, the universe and everything else was irresistible. Had to have a go, and the views. Just out of curiosity, I wanted to find out about the two antiquarians mentioned, so I did a bit of research. Now, Thomas Bateman is a name I hear very often in Derbyshire. He was an 18th century archaeologist and collector of antiques and curiosities, born in 1821 at Rowsley in Derbyshire, at Middleton Hall, the family estate. He dug hundreds of barrows in the Peak District, and he had his own private museum, so wherever he dug was safe in a way. Now, antiquarians are heavily criticised today, but the big thing that Bateman did right is he wrote things down. All his findings, he made decent record of everything he found, so for his day were very good. As a lot of the Victorian antiquarians were no more than grave diggers and thieves, and didn't record anything, so they've lost so much information over the years. Micah Salt was a tailor from Buxton, born in 1847. He had a great interest in archaeology. It was usually a hobby of the elite, which he was not, just being a tailor. But Salt excavated many burial mounds around Buxton and acquired finds from local farmers and landowners. And he also kept records of his finds, and they were collated in a book in 1899 as Ancient Remains Near Buxton. This book records many of the first objects that were given to the museum at Buxton. I might do a short video on the antiquarians, because I'm visiting a lot of these mounds in Derbyshire and the Peak District at the moment. If anybody's interested, let me know. Don't forget to like and share the video, or subscribe even if you enjoyed it, as you've watched this far, and thanks.